Welcome to GZ Coins World YouTube channel where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures. Today you are going to discover 4 Liberty dimes that could shack you right out of your seat. What if I told you a single dime, just 10 cents, could make you rich beyond your wildest imagination? No, this isn't a fairy tale. It's real. One specific dime, a 1996 USA Liberty Roosevelt dime, recently shocked the world when it was valued at over $716,000. That's right. From your pocket to over $500,000. Today, you're about to discover everything you need to know about this incredible coin, why it's so rare, how it came to be, and what to look for in your own collection. Stay with me, because this story is not just fascinating, it could also be profitable. Chapter 1. The origin of the Liberty dime. Let's go back in time to understand how this tiny coin came into existence. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, just months after the death of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Roosevelt had led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. But more importantly, to the public, he was the face behind the March of Dimes campaign to eliminate polio. In his honor, the U.S. Mint retired the Mercury dime and introduced the Roosevelt dime, with his portrait on the obverse side. The design was created by John R. Sinek, who was the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. The reverse design features a lit torch in the center, symbolizing liberty. To its left, an olive branch for peace. To the right, an oak branch representing strength. These 3 symbols combined express the values that Roosevelt himself stood for: freedom, peace, and resilience. Originally, the coin was made of 90% silver. But by 1965, due to rising silver prices, the mint replaced the silver content with a copper-nickel-clad composition. Since then, every Roosevelt dime made for circulation has used this metal combination. Chapter 2. The mint that made the legend. Fast forward to 1996. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of dimes every year. But 1996 was no ordinary year. It marked the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime series. To celebrate, the mint did something special. Dimes were struck at 4 different mints: Philadelphia, represented by the letter P; Denver, represented by the letter D; San Francisco, where proof coins were produced. And for the first time ever, West Point struck a limited number of circulation dimes, marked with the W mint mark. But our story focuses on the Denver Mint, specifically, the 1996 D dime. Over 1.4 billion dimes were minted in Denver that year. Most of these coins were perfectly ordinary. You've probably held one in your hand at some point. But among the billions, a handful stood out. Some coins were struck with exceptional detail, preserved in flawless condition, and certified as rare by professional graders. These rare examples command enormous premiums, and one of them made history. Chapter 3. The $716,000 dime. Yes, it's true. One 1996 D Roosevelt dime sold for $716,000. How is that even possible? To understand the value, you have to understand how coin grading works. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by professional organizations like PCGS and NGC. A coin graded at MS-60 is considered uncirculated. MS-65 is gem uncirculated. MS-67 and higher are extremely rare. But the Holy Grail, MS-68 and above, combined with what collectors call a full bands designation. The full bands, or FB designation, is given when the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse are fully separated and sharply struck. This requires a perfect strike during minting, which is incredibly rare, especially for coins made in massive numbers like the 1996 D. Now combine full bands with a flawless surface, untouched by circulation, and graded at MS-68 or MS-69. That's the kind of coin that gets collectors and investors bidding furiously. One such coin did exactly that, bringing the final hammer price to a jaw-dropping $716,000. This is not just about rarity. It's about perfection. Among over 1 billion coins, only a few were struck and preserved at that elite level. Chapter 4. Other rare errors and varieties. But that's not the only way a 1996 D dime can be valuable. There are also mint errors and varieties that can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's go through some of the most valuable types you should look for: doubled die obverse, Some 1996 D dimes were struck with doubled images, particularly visible in the letters of Liberty or in the date. These are called double die obverse. If you see any signs of doubling, especially under magnification, you might be holding a rare error coin worth big money. Missing mint mark. Some Denver dimes were accidentally struck without the D mint mark. These no mint mark errors are extremely uncommon and highly collectible. Off-center strike. Coins that were not perfectly centered during striking are known as off-center errors. The more off-center the coin is without losing its date, the higher its value. Some off-center 1996 D dimes have sold for over $100. Broad strikes and die cracks. If the coin appears wider than normal, or has raised cracks on its surface, these could be signs of minting errors that increase its value. Chapter 5. How to identify a valuable 1996 D dime. Now here's the big question. How do you know if your 1996 D dime is worth a fortune? Here's what to look for. 1. Condition. The coin must be uncirculated or in near perfect condition. Look for luster, no scratches, and sharp details. 2. Full bands. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the reverse. Are the horizontal bands on the torch clearly and fully separated? If yes, you may have an FB designation candidate. 3. Grading. Submit your coin to PCGS or NGC for professional grading. This will confirm the grade and FB status, which is essential for establishing value. 4. Rarity factors. Check for doubling, missing mid-mark off-center strike, or other errors. 5. Auction records. If your coin is graded MS68 FB or higher, it could be worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands based on auction history. Chapter 6. A treasure in your pocket. Every year, millions of Americans handle dimes without giving them a second thought. But history has shown us that hidden treasure still exists. Coins like the 1996 D Roosevelt dime remind us that a fortune could be sitting in your change jar, forgotten at the bottom of a drawer, or tucked into a coin roll waiting to be discovered. So the next time you go through your change, take a closer look. One single dime could change your life forever. Thank you for joining us on this amazing journey into the world of rare coins. If you learned something new, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth videos about hidden treasures, coin values, and rare collectibles. Share this video with your friends. Who knows, maybe someone you know is holding a dime worth over $500,000. Stay curious, stay sharp, and keep checking that change. Your treasure might be closer than you think. What if I told you there is a coin so small that it fits on your fingertip, yet its value could make you one of the richest people in the world? What if I told you that a single dime, just 10 cents, might be worth $711 million? Sounds impossible. Then let me introduce you to one of the most mysterious, debated, and fascinating coins in modern American history. The 1999 P. Roosevelt Liberty Dime. You're about to uncover a story of American legacy, hidden value, and numismatic curiosity. We're going to explore how a common dime minted by the billions became the subject of global attention, and why collectors believe a single flawless example could command a fortune. Let's dive deep into the coin that shocked the collecting world. Chapter 1. The Birth of the Roosevelt Dime. Voiceover. To understand the 1999 P dime, we have to go way back to 1946. That year, the United States Mint introduced a brand new design for the 10-cent coin, honoring none other than President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Roosevelt wasn't just a president. He was the man who led America through the Great Depression and World War II. But he also led a personal fight against polio. Through his involvement with the March of Dimes, Roosevelt helped raise national awareness and funding to fight this crippling disease. As a tribute to his legacy, the U.S. Mint replaced the Mercury dime with the Roosevelt design. Created by Chief Engraver John R. Sinek, the coin features Roosevelt's profile on the obverse side. On the reverse, a flaming torch, flanked by olive and oak branches. Together, they symbolize liberty, peace, and strength. It was a powerful message in metal. The Roosevelt dime quickly became one of the most circulated coins in American pockets. Chapter 2. Fast forward to 1999, a modern minting giant. Voiceover. By 1999, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for over 5 decades. That year, the Philadelphia Mint struck over 2.1 billion dimes, yes, billion with a B. The coins bore the familiar P mint mark, just above the date. At first glance, there was nothing special about the 1999 P dime. It wasn't silver. It wasn't rare. It was made of copper and nickel, just like most modern coins. In fact, it was one of the most common coins produced that year. But in the world of numismatics coin collecting, sometimes perfection is what turns ordinary into extraordinary. And that's where the legend begins. Chapter 3: What makes a dime worth millions? You might be asking yourself, how can a dime worth 10 cents sell for $711 million? The answer lies in the world of coin grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A score of 70 means a coin is absolutely perfect with no visible flaws, even under magnification. Coins that receive this grade are incredibly rare, especially when they come from mass production intended for circulation. In the case of the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime, one coin reportedly achieved the ultimate grade of MS-70 with full bands. Now, full bands refers to the bands around the torch on the reverse of the coin. These bands are often weakly struck. But in a full band specimen, they are clearly and sharply defined. Full bands in high grades are extremely rare. A 1999 P. Roosevelt dime graded MS-70 with full bands is believed to be a one-of-a-kind coin, the holy grail for Roosevelt dime collectors. The claim that such a coin, in absolute pristine condition, could fetch $711 million at the right auction, from the right buyer, in the right moment. And while that number hasn't been officially verified by any major auction house, the story has caught fire in collecting circles around the world. Chapter 4: Reality Check Coin Market Facts. Now, let's ground this incredible story in reality. The typical 1999 P dime in circulated condition is worth exactly what you'd expect: 10 cents. Uncirculated examples, graded MS-65, sell for about $2 to $4. Even in ultra-high grades like MS-68, a 1999 P with full bands might fetch $30 to $50 at auction. There have been verified sales in this range. These are serious collector coins, but nowhere near millions. As for an MS-69 or MS-70 full bands, that's where the mystery begins. No major grading agency has confirmed a 1999 P. Roosevelt dime graded MS-70 with full bands as of this video's release. So where did the $711 million figure come from? It appears to be more myth than market. A blend of hype, rumor, and the speculative value of owning something so rare it borders on impossible. Yet the allure remains. Because what if it really does exist? Chapter 5: The Other Side of Value: Errors, Varieties, and Hidden Treasures. Not all valuable coins are flawless. Some are flawed in just the right way. Collectors hunt for errors and varieties that can make even modern coins valuable. With the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime, keep an eye out for 1. Double dies where the image is struck twice, slightly offset. These can bring in $50 to $200 or more. 2. Missing mint marks, unusual for 1999, but rare errors do exist. 3. Off-center strikes, coins where the design is misaligned, especially if the date is still visible. 4. Die cracks and cuts, raised lines, or blobs of metal caused by worn-out dies. Minor errors may bring $10 to $50, while major ones can fetch far more. You don't need a perfect coin to make money, just a rare one. Chapter 6: What to do if you think you have a rare 1999 P dime. So now the question is, what if you think you've got one of these rare dimes? Here's what to do. Examine it under magnification, look for the P mint mark, full bands, and any strange features. Check for luster and marks. The shinier and cleaner the surface, the higher the grade. Compare with online references, see what real high-grade 1999 P dimes look like. Get it graded. If your dime looks flawless, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional evaluation. Watch the market auction results, will tell you what collectors are paying right now. Chapter 7: The Biggest Coin Mystery of the Modern Era. Whether or not the $711 million dime truly exists, this story captures the imagination of collectors everywhere. It reminds us that coins aren't just money, they're miniature pieces of art, history, and sometimes mystery. The 1999 P. Roosevelt Liberty dime is a modern legend. And legends, whether true or not, drive us to search, to explore, and to dream. Maybe you'll never find that perfect dime. But the next time you get change at the gas station, take a second look, because you never know what might be hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this journey through numismatic mystery, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon for more incredible coin stories and hidden treasures. Tell us in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Have you checked your 1999p dimes lately? Thanks for watching. And remember, treasure isn't always buried. Sometimes it jingles in your pocket. Imagine holding in your hand a tiny piece of American history, a simple dime, just 10 cents. Now imagine that this unassuming coin could be worth over $700 million. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Yet, the 2003 PUSA Liberty dime has become the subject of a fascinating story swirling around its incredible rarity and mythical market value of $708 million. Today, we are going to unravel the mystery of the 2003 P Liberty dime, from its rich historical roots to its market value, and why collectors around the world are captivated by this small coin with such a giant legend attached to it. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just curious about the extraordinary stories hidden in everyday objects, you're in for a deep, fascinating journey. Chapter 1: The Roosevelt Dime, an icon of American history. The story begins back in 1946, a pivotal year when the United States Mint introduced a new dime designed to honor one of America's most beloved presidents, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Why Roosevelt? Because of his courageous fight against polio and his founding role in the March of Dimes, a charity that helped fund medical research to combat this debilitating disease. The Roosevelt dime became more than just currency, it became a symbol of hope, perseverance, and liberty. Crafted by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, the dime's design features Roosevelt's profile on the front, representing leadership and resilience. On the reverse side, the torch of liberty is flanked by olive branches symbolizing peace and oak branches symbolizing strength. This design has endured through decades, solidifying the dime's place in American culture and everyday life. Chapter 2: The year 2003, a common coin with an extraordinary legend. Fast forward to 2003, the Philadelphia Mint produced billions of Roosevelt dimes bearing the P Mint mark. The 2003 P dime looks like any other dime from that era, struck in a clad composition of copper and nickel. To most people, the 2003 P dime is just another coin. It sits in change jars, cash registers, and parking meters all over the country. It is one of the most common coins minted in recent history. But collectors pay close attention to two key things when determining a coin's true value: condition and strike quality. This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Chapter 3: Coin Grading and the Pursuit of Perfection. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. Most dimes that have been handled, used, or carried will have visible marks or wear, which lowers their grade. A coin graded MS-70 means it is in mint state, showing no visible imperfections even under intense magnification. The 2003 P dime also carries something called full bands on the reverse side. The torch's horizontal bands appear sharply and clearly separated. This is a key detail collectors obsess over. Full bands are rare for modern dimes because most coins show some degree of weakness in this area. When a 2003 P Roosevelt dime achieves the coveted MS-70 full band status, it is regarded as a coin of exceptional rarity. Chapter 4: The $708 million coin, fact or fiction. Now, the part that captures imaginations: the claim that a 2003 P Liberty dime, perfect and with full bands, is worth $708 million. This number is extraordinary. If true, it would make this dime one of the most valuable coins in the world, outselling historic rarities like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair dollar. But is there any official record of such a sale? The answer is complicated. While some private collectors have rumored owning or offering such coins at astronomical prices, no major auction house has verified a sale near this amount. Most experts agree the $708 million figure is likely a myth or an inflated estimate born from the coin's rarity and collector excitement. However, the legend remains powerful because it illustrates the extreme potential value a single perfect coin could hold. Chapter 5: What is the real market value? To ground this story in reality, let's look at actual market data. Circulated 2003p Roosevelt dimes are worth face value 10 cents. Uncirculated coins graded MS65 sell for around $2 to $5. Coins with full bands at MS65 to MS67 range typically sell for $10 to $30. Higher grade specimens with full bands graded MS68 or MS69 can bring prices from $50 up to a few $100s depending on demand. No verified 2003p dime has been graded MS70 with full bands and sold for anywhere near millions. Chapter 6. Why do collectors care so much? So why does this coin inspire such passion? Because coin collecting is about more than just money. It's about history, artistry, and the thrill of discovery. The 2003p dime, a modern coin, represents the pinnacle of minting perfection in a time when billions of coins are made. Finding a flawless, perfectly struck dime from this year is like finding a needle in a haystack. Collectors seek these coins to complete sets, to own pieces of minting excellence, and for the sheer joy of owning something rare and beautiful. Chapter 7. How to identify and preserve your 2003p dime. If you want to see if your 2003p dime might be valuable, here's what you need to do. 1. Look for the P mint mark above the date on the coin's obverse. 2. Examine the torch bands on the reverse side. The horizontal bands should be fully separated and sharply defined. 3. Check the coin's surface for any marks, scratches, or discoloration. The cleaner and shinier, the better. 4. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect closely. 5. If you think you have a high-grade specimen, get it professionally graded by a reputable company such as PCGS or NGC. A professional certification can significantly increase its market value. Chapter 8. Legends and Lessons from the 2003p dime. The story of the 2003p dime reminds us that every coin has a story, and sometimes legends grow bigger than reality. Whether or not a $708 million dime exists, the tale inspires collectors to look closer at the coins they hold. It is a reminder of the beauty in small things, the importance of preserving history, and the excitement that comes with uncovering hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of the 2003p Liberty dime, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more fascinating coin stories, and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. Do you own any special coins or dimes from this era? Have you ever found something unexpected in your pocket change? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing your stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes history is just a dime away. Imagine holding in your hand a coin so small, so seemingly ordinary, yet rumored to be worth a staggering $705 million. You might think this sounds like a tale pulled straight from a movie, but the 2005p USA Liberty dime has captured the imagination of collectors worldwide with this incredible legend. Welcome to a deep dive into the fascinating history, remarkable rarity, and mind-blowing market value of the 2005p Roosevelt Liberty dime, one of America's most intriguing coins in recent times. In this video, we will uncover the origins of this dime, why it has become a collector's dream, the factors influencing its astronomical valuation, and what the true market looks like today. Get ready to explore a story where history, mystery, and money intersect in the palm of your hand. Chapter 1. The Roosevelt Dime, a Legacy of Liberty and Hope. Our journey begins nearly 80 years ago, when the Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946. This coin was created as a tribute to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was more than a president. He was a symbol of resilience, leadership, and compassion. He famously battled polio, and in response, helped found the March of Dimes, a foundation dedicated to combating the disease and improving public health. The dime's design, crafted by John R. Sinek, embodies this legacy. On the front, Roosevelt's dignified profile serves as a reminder of leadership through adversity. The reverse features a torch representing liberty, flanked by olive and oak branches symbolizing peace and strength, values deeply ingrained in the American spirit. This design has become a mainstay of U.S. coinage for generations, making the dime a coin that Americans see every day but rarely think deeply about. Chapter 2. The 2005p dime, a modern coin with an extraordinary reputation. Now, fast forward to the year 2005. The Philadelphia Mint, designated by the letter P, produced billions of Roosevelt dimes during this period, including the 2005 P dime. At first glance, the 2005 P dime looks like any other dime, composed of copper and nickel clad. It features the same classic Roosevelt design with the P mint mark right above the date. Because so many were minted, most people consider this dime as common as any other modern coin. It circulates widely in pocket change, vending machines, and cash registers throughout the country. However, among coin collectors and experts, the 2005 P dime holds a special fascination, particularly those specimens that meet the highest standards of perfection. Chapter 3: Coin Grading and the Pursuit of Perfection. To understand the coin's value, we need to discuss coin grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, where 1 is a worn and damaged coin, and 70 is a perfect coin with no flaws, blemishes, or where even under intense magnification. The 2005 P Roosevelt dime can sometimes be found in mint state 70 condition. These MS-70 coins represent the pinnacle of minting perfection: flawless surfaces, sharp details, and brilliant luster. Moreover, collectors look for a detail called full bands on the reverse torch. This means the horizontal bands on the torch are fully and distinctly separated, indicating a well-struck coin. An MS-70 2005 P dime with full bands is incredibly rare. Even among the billions minted, only a handful have been graded at this perfect level. Chapter 4: The mythical $705 million valuation. Here is where the story takes a fascinating turn. There are rumors and stories in the coin community about a 2005 P Liberty dime graded MS-70 full bands that is valued at a staggering $705 million. Such a number is jaw-dropping, especially considering most 2005 P dimes are worth exactly 10 cents in everyday transactions. This massive valuation is driven by a few factors: the extreme rarity of a perfect MS-70 full band specimen from 2005, the historic significance of the Roosevelt dime series, the general collector fascination with modern coins achieving perfection, the speculative and sometimes hyperbolic nature of private market offers. However, it is crucial to understand that there is no verified public auction or sale record to confirm that any 2005 P dime has ever sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. Much of the $705 million figure likely stems from private negotiations, exaggerated valuations, or the natural excitement of coin collectors imagining what the perfect coin could be worth. Chapter 5: What is the realistic value of a 2005 P dime? To bring some perspective to the market, let's look at real-world prices. Circulated 2005 P dimes generally hold a face value of 10 cents. Uncirculated examples graded MS-65 typically sell for a few dollars, often between $1 and $5. Those with full bands and graded between MS-65 and MS-68 might reach $10 to $50 in sales. Coins graded MS-69 or MS-70 with full bands are exceedingly rare and can command prices in the hundreds of dollars to a few thousand depending on demand. While these numbers are far from the rumored millions, they reflect the realistic collector market. Chapter 6: Why this coin matters to collectors and investors. Why do collectors care so deeply about a coin that is produced in the billions? Because coin collecting is about more than just rarity or market value. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the challenge of finding perfection. The 2005 P dime is a test of minting quality. It challenges collectors to search through countless ordinary coins to discover that one perfect specimen. Owning such a coin represents both a personal achievement and a piece of numismatic art. Additionally, for investors, coins like the 2005 P dime show how even modern coins can gain value if they meet strict grading criteria, providing a tangible alternative investment opportunity. Chapter 7: How to identify and protect your 2005 P dime. If you have a 2005 P dime and wonder if it could be valuable, here's how to check. Locate the P mint mark just above the year 2005. Examine the reverse torch for full bands. The horizontal lines should be sharply defined and completely separated. Assess the coin's surface for any marks, scratches, or discoloration. The cleaner and shinier, the better. Consider having your coin professionally graded by experts such as PCGS or NGC to confirm its condition. Proper storage is also critical. Keep your dime in a cool, dry place, and avoid handling it with bare hands to prevent oils and dirt from damaging its surface. Chapter 8: Legacy and Lessons from the 2005p Dime. The 2005p Liberty Dime teaches us about the intersection of history, art, and market speculation. It reminds collectors that value is not just about rarity, but perfection, provenance, and passion. While the $705 million valuation may never be proven in a real auction, the story fuels imagination and inspires a deeper appreciation for even the smallest coins. This dime is a perfect example of how something ordinary can become extraordinary when viewed through the lens of history and the eyes of a collector. Thank you for joining me on this detailed journey into the world of the 2005p USA Liberty Dime. If you found this video fascinating, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all things numismatic. Have you ever found a coin that amazed you? Or do you own a 2005p dime that could be the next big treasure? Share your stories and thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing from fellow collectors and enthusiasts. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and remember, history might just be waiting for you in your pocket change.